On May 18, 2022, police responded to a 911 call in Dayton, Ohio. The caller claimed that he had just seen his neighbor, 44-year-old Johnny Trigg, shoot a man outside his apartment and then go back inside. A SWAT team was deployed and they surrounded Johnny's apartment for over 6 hours. Eventually, the SWAT team realized that Johnny was not inside his home, so the search began for the missing shooter. While the police searched for Johnny, his victim passed away from his gunshot wounds. 3 days later, Johnny would be found and arrested.
So, what we're going to talk about today is the incident that happened last week, okay?
Yes, sir.
But before we go into that, okay, have you ever had your rights read to you before?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're going to go over this pre-interview form for your rights and everything, and we just want to get your side of the story, man. Okay, is that cool?
Yes,
All right. So, obviously, we're here to talk about a homicide, okay, man?
Yes, sir.
The incident happened last Wednesday, the 18th,
Yes, sir.
episode of Bats on West Stewart.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You currently staying on West Stewart?
I go check on my dad every day. My dad's diabetic.
Okay. Is it your dad's apartment there?
Yes.
And that's 1719 West Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you go there every day and check on him?
Check on my dad, but prior to any of this, I pulled up to my dad's residence. And I was approached and assaulted with a pistol. Then knocked out. He got pretty guns in my face. Told me he'd kill me if I back over my property. I don't even know this gentleman. Never spoke to him, never seen him. And I had not been going down there to see my dad on a regular basis because of this gentleman. The guy told me the next time he seen me and the opportunity presented itself, I was the dad, man. And that morning, I was just getting my belongings, trying to move to my new residence. God came out. He seen me, had on all blue. Went back in the house and came back with a gun. Same gun, he smacked me in the mouth with.
He came out. Who's he? Who's the guy that came out with the gun? The dead gentleman?
This is not Johnny's first time dealing with the police. In fact, he has an extensive criminal history. In 2003, he served 9 months in jail for possession of illegal drugs. In 2016, he served 4 years for felonious assault and aggravated battery. Then in 2020, he served another 9 months for possession of a firearm by a felon.
You ever seen this guy before all this incident and everything like that?
Yeah, every time I would go see my dad, I would see him. Never knew the guy. Never had no altercations, running into him, anything. I don't know why. He chose it.
And when he hit you in the mouth with the gun over a month, did you go to the hospital or anything?
Yes.
Where'd you go to?
Mine got
You went to the valley?
I got it.
You make a police report at that time?
I'm not gonna lie to you, sir. I was in major pain. By the time they gave me my medications, I was so out of it.
Okay.
I just was willing to leave it alone. I said, I don't even know the guy.
Okay.
The guy just constant. Every chance he got, told me.
Where'd you get the gun that you used? Around, okay. Are you allowed to carry a gun?
No, sir.
Okay.
I've been shot. I never wanted to hurt nobody. It was for my protection.
Alright. Tell me what happened before that assault and everything. Listen, there's a lot of stuff that we know.
Before the assault.
Yeah, you need to start being truthful with me.
I am, sir.
Okay? Because I know a lot more than you think I do.
Sir,
Okay.
I'm telling you, God, honest truth.
From the beginning.
Give me a polygraph.
Okay, so from the beginning, tell me what happened before this incident, before this assault when he hit him out. Where did this all start at? How did this all start?
Johnny explains that he was pulling up to his father's house when the victim approached him, claiming that he used the bag of charcoal that Johnny left on his porch. He even offered Johnny $10 to cover the cost of the charcoal. Johnny did not like being told that his charcoal had been stolen from his porch without permission, so he confronted the victim about the charcoal, which ultimately led to the shooting.
What did he take? Or what did he borrow from you?
Fucking bag of charcoal.
Bag of charcoal?
Bag, this man did all of what he did to me over a bag of charcoal that belonged.
Like the grilling charcoal? Like using a grill? Was it just sitting on your back porch? Okay. So he takes the bag of charcoal. Did he end up paying you for it? Either then or down the road?
They told me he left the money, but the way he approached me, and all I did is just told the man, I said, look, you racist. I don't care what it is over here, don't touch nothing over here. And the man just...
This was the same day?
I approached him about my property.
Okay. So this was all the same day?
Everybody over here will tell you I did nothing wrong. I tried to avoid this man. I haven't even been going to see my dad on a regular basis. The man was halfway to his vehicle, like I wouldn't turned around, went back into his residence. He came back out. Looking for me.
How do you know he's looking for you?
Shit. When you see me coming, I was going back in as he was going back in. Locked eyes with me, weapon in hand. Came from around my truck. The weapon that I had was inside the truck. He came around, I was already weapon in hand. He looked, seen the weapon, retrieved fire. Man had a weapon, I had a weapon. I've been shot before. I took my family's foot out.
How many times did you shoot?
Okay.
You know what?
Don't give me the line.
How many times do you think you shot?
Probably 6. I never tell.
So when you go to shoot, when you shoot the first time, what's he do? Does he take off running? Does he go back in the apartment?
No. He took off. He was trying to, I guess the element of surprise, he was trying to, I don't know, I can't say what the man was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just know. I'm tired of prison and I want to try to die.
So when you go to shoot though, so you shoot the first time. Does he take off running away from the apartment and the cars and you shoot, you continue to shoot? Let me ask you this, did your gun jam at any time? Or misfire? I think you can.
Johnny is unaware that a neighbor saw the entire incident unfold, and he gave a detailed description of what happened to the police. Johnny believes that his made-up story mixed with his fake crying is enough to convince the detectives that he is a victim. Unfortunately for Johnny, He has a history of violence, and a victim will usually not go on the run from the police.
I think there's some stuff that you're not telling me that you want to get, that's really holding me down. All right, listen. I told you, there's a lot more than I know.
Honest truth, sir.
There's a lot, I don't think you are. There's a lot more to the story than you're not telling me.
Sir,
all
I'm
right?
telling you the God, honest truth, man. Everything transpires, sir. I'm not fabricating anything.
When you went to fire the first time, did your gun jam? Or did it misfire?
The first time? Or the incident?
Oh, this incident that happened almost a week ago. That involved shooting this guy.
No, like I said, sir. Like, I'm not lying to you. I'm not fabricating anything to you, sir. I'm telling you the God, honest truth of that took place, sir. I don't know what stories you got. I don't know any of this. All I can tell you, sir, is what I encountered, what I experienced.
Okay, you know, at that time, there's other people that are up, right?
I'm gonna tell
And you know, okay, no, I'm telling you, there's other people that are up and out and about at that time. There's other people that saw what happened. Okay? They saw what happened.
Exactly.
And
I'm not fabricating anything.
we're trying to come, you know, everybody's got a story. Everybody sees what they saw, and you were obviously the one involved in it. And, you know, for the most part, I think you're being truthful. There's some stuff that I'm just going to call out.
I'm telling you the God, honest truth, sir. You can give me a polygraph right now.
Okay, so if what you're saying is true, this gentleman had a gun, and you're claiming that you shot in self-defense. Why didn't you stay there for the police and tell your side of the story then instead of being on the run for almost a week?
You know, I listened to my counsel. I obtained counsel the very next day. My counsel told me, just chill out, do what you've been doing. Let me sort through this shit. That's all I've been doing.
Who's your counsel?
Charles Slicer.
Okay, so Mr. Slicer told you to stay on the run?
He told me to sit back, chill out, and let him sort through this mess I had myself into.
Okay.
First it was just a felonious assault. The dynamics was going to change, I was understanding. Now it's a murder. That's what I'm facing.
Yeah, because the guy died.
I heard.
Yeah, he died. He died on Saturday.
Mr. Trigg, where were you standing when you shot the first time?
Side of my truck.
All right, next to your truck. Now, as you were firing at him, obviously he's running away from you.
No.
Well, he's shot in the back, so obviously he's running away from you.
Yeah.
So he's running away from you.
Yes.
And you're continuing to fire at him.
No. Well, yes. He couldn't have been running because if y'all could clearly see, it wasn't just one gun being fired.
No, it was just one gun being fired.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And no other guns were being fired.
Really?
Yes. And he shot in the back, which is an indicator that he was running away.
No, sir.
Not only was his victim shot multiple times while he was retreating, but Johnny's story of a second gun is also a lie. The police investigated the possibility that maybe the victim hit his gun after he was shot, but there was no evidence a second gun was even fired. The only casings and bullet holes found anywhere at the crime scene had come from Johnny's gun.
And how was he shot in the back?
He was shot in the back. Probably from the angle that I was standing and the angle that he was standing. That's the only thing I can recall. Like I said, sir.
Because you shot a car, you shot him in the back.
Once I seen weapon in hand, that's just like if I had a weapon and y'all seen me with a weapon in hand, but what are y'all gonna do?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, like there's no weapon recovered at the scene. There's no other casings recovered at the scene. Everyone else that we interviewed said that he's walking out to the car getting into the car when you opened fire on him. So, and we've got that from different witnesses. They're all confirming that.
No,
So to us, it makes sense that you'd been beaten multiple times by this guy who sounds like an absolute jackass, pardon my language, and you were upset and angry, understandably, and this was your opportunity.
No, sir. My opportunity was to get my belongings and get the fuck on my new residence. That was my opportunity. I just signed my lease. I fear this guy. I haven't even been going down there to check on my father on a regular basis because of this guy. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Every chance this guy got to told me, he told me. Every chance he got, I don't even know this guy, never had no dealings with him, no altercations with him, no nothing. That's why I don't understand why he did all of what he did to me.
I believe
my property.
I believe
over my property.
I believe that.
Stuck a gun in my face, approximately 5 to 7 minutes. You told me you would kill me. You smacked me a second time, and at this time, I'm asking, why?
And I believe
all this over me telling you what you can do and not do with my property. I don't care what it is. What would give you? Okay, prime example. The same $10 he tried to give me, he could have went and got his own trunk up. He was nitpicking, constantly picking, bullying me.
he absolutely was bullying you.
He was fucking bullying me.
And Mr. Trigg, no one's even questioning that, because that's, I mean, we've heard that from multiple people, that he was an absolute bully.
I didn't tell you, man, I'm a good guy. I'm a God-fearing man, and all I came home trying to do, man, is stay the out of trouble. I did so much I never done. Can you think got my license, insurance, life insurance policy, my own place of residence now. I was doing so good for myself, man. I was doing something I never did in 44 years for myself, man. Only for this gentleman to come and with me for what? I'm still puzzled. I did nothing wrong to this gentleman whatsoever.
Because he was a bully, man.
I did nothing wrong to him.
He was
This
a bully.
man put a pistol to my face, smacked me in the mouth with it. Put it to my face for 5 to 7 minutes. My cousins that was in the vehicle with me will verify. My little brother came at the ass in and seen everything. My mouth busted open. The man still got the gun in my face. And I got mad. And I told him to shoot me. If it mean that much to you, you gotta do all this over my shit, man. Really? You doing all this to me over my shit? The same $10 you could have went and bought your own fucking truck over. You was bullying me. For me to pull out and how he was aggressive, obnoxious, I pull up to this. Just imagine you pulling up to your residence.
He said, we get you're mad over him, taking your stuff, trying to pay back.
No.
So after all this,
No. I wasn't even mad about that.
what are you mad about?
This shit transpired so fast.
Okay.
He had set in his mind to do all of what he wanted to do from the time my vehicle pooped up.
Okay.
On April 22nd.
It appears that Johnny believes that because the victim had a history of bullying him, which may or may not be true, that he had the right to take his life. Not only does Johnny have a history of violence, there was no evidence that he was ever in danger, and he went on the run after the incident took place. The detectives believe that what Johnny did was murder, but they need to get him to admit that there was no other gun, and he shot at a retreating person.
This guy was a jerk, man. I get it. The problem is that going back to the 18th, hear me out. Yeah, all right. So, but if we go fast forward to the 18th, all right, which was last week, we've got you shooting at him, standing in the road. Then we've got your additional casings going down the sidewalk as if you're going down towards Danner, continuing to shoot, and then we've got a windshield that's shot out, and we've got him shot in the back. I mean, so you're pursuing after him. You're alleging you're in fear for your life.
I'm telling you the guy.
But you're pursuing him.
For you to tell me that there was not a gun on the scene, where is the gun?
I don't think there was one.
Yes, it was, sir.
Where was the gun that you used at?
The gun that I used, I don't know. It was on the scene. It should have been on the scene.
Where at?
It should have been right beside the vehicle. See what I'm saying?
Did you drop it after you shot him?
Yeah, I panicked when I seen that gun in that man's hand. At the same gun, he smacked me in the mouth with it, that's how I know.
Yeah.
I had a clip hanging out that long. That's how I know. The man had a weapon in hand when he came back out for the second time.
Okay, so after the shooting, where'd you go? Did you go back into your apartment?
Yes, I did.
Then, did you go out the back door or out the front door when you left before?
No, actually, no, I stayed there. I was trying to find my cell phone. I couldn't find my cell phone.
Were you inside the
My
apartment?
keys, my house keys were still there. My door was wide open. I ran out of there. I was in fear for my life.
Did you run out the front door?
Like Stewart Street side?
Yeah, Stewart Street side.
I ran towards the park, the Stewart Street side, yes.
So what'd you do with the gun?
The gun was on the scene.
No, it wasn't.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. That's how I know it's some bullshit involved. The gun that was used should have still been on the scene, and the gun that he had should have still been on his person, man.
I'm telling you right now, there's no guns on scene.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Listen. Officers were there pretty quickly after the shooting came out, okay? There's multiple eyewitnesses that watched this whole thing transpire, and not one of them said this dude ran up and got the gun and took it into this apartment, or you dropped the gun. No, they're saying he's run away, you shot him, you ran back into your apartment, then the police showed up. And then obviously, the SWAT standoff happened and everything when you weren't even in there. And you were at your mom's now, as you say.
Yes.
Okay? So, you didn't drop the gun.
Sir, the gun should have still been on the scene. I'm telling you the gun is true, sir. The gun should have still
Okay, so let me ask you this. So since this, okay, you haven't been at your mom's house since then.
No.
Where you been at?
Standing here last night. I talked to my sister probably around, I ain't got my phone, probably around.
Is it that blue phone that was in there?
Yeah, I was probably around 3 this morning. She was getting up for work.
Mm-hmm.
I was on man, just wandering around. Just really want to get this shit behind me. I haven't had a good night's rest since this shit happened.
I bet you've been on the run and all this stuff's been in your head.
I want to get this behind me.
Where's your truck at?
Hell. My mom's, and told it to my mom's.
Okay.
When the police found Johnny at his sister's apartment, he had been sleeping on the couch for 2 nights. Under the cushions, the police found what they believed to be the murder weapon. The detectives confront Johnny with this information, and yet again, Johnny shows them how bad of a liar he really is.
So what about the gun that was found in the couch? Straight up, is that the gun? Don't listen.
No, sir.
Be straight with me.
No, sir.
The gun that was in the couch, that
should have still been on the scene, sir.
Gun wasn't on the scene.
So what was the deal with the gun in the couch?
I don't know nothing about no gun in no couch.
Mr. Trigg, we're being very respectful.
Sir, I was telling you to go DNA the gun, fingerprint me. I don't know nothing about no gun in no couch.
Okay, so if your DNA is not on that gun, do you mind if we collect your DNA to compare it?
Come on.
So we'll do that a little bit, okay? The cell phone, that's your cell phone, the blue one that was right there on the little table, okay? Which phone number is that?
Cause like I said, I just want to get this behind me, man. Whatever come out of this, man, I just want it behind me.
Okay.
I did nothing wrong, man. I swear I never remember any of this shit.
Okay.
You can't just keep tormenting the person, and you steady playing with this gun.
Alright, Mr. Trigg, just go ahead and grab it. We'll be right back in, alright? We'll be in the back in a couple minutes, right? Yeah.
A jury would find Johnny guilty of murder, felonious assault, and possession of a firearm by a felon. Johnny would receive 21 years to life in prison, plus an additional 3 years for a parole violation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this case, so please share them in the comments below.